West Virginia State University basketball on 107.3 The Beat. The West Virginia State men looking to avenge one of their earlier conference losses against the West Virginia Wesleyan Bobcats. I'm Daniel Woods. This is West Virginia State basketball, as not only do the Yellowjackets look to avenge an earlier loss, they also look to make it a sweep today, as the West Virginia State women's basketball team just finished upsetting West Virginia Wesleyan, currently in second place in the Mountain East Conference women's basketball standings. The West Virginia State men can complete the sweep, they can split the season series, and most importantly, they can clinch a spot in the Mountain East Conference tournament with a win today against West Virginia Wesleyan. The Yellowjackets are 2 games up on Wesleyan in the Mountain East Conference standings, and that comes with 3 games left to play, including this one. So if West Virginia State wins today, they would move 3 games ahead of Wesleyan in the MEC standings, and would in turn eliminate Wesleyan from postseason contention and guarantee themselves, at the very least, the 10th seed in the Mountain East Conference tournament, which begins on March the 4th. West Virginia State has had its struggles this season, but has won 2 of its last 3 and is looking to finish strong here against Wesleyan before 2 more games against Concord and Charleston to finish the regular season. Last time out for West Virginia State, a loss on the road at Davis and Elkins on Wednesday. West Virginia State falling to the Senators 88-70. Yellowjackets with 8 healthy players in that game. It saw the return of Blake Goodman, who played 27 minutes and scored 10 points for West Virginia State. And the West Virginia State bench gets a little bit deeper today, as Norris Bourne is in uniform today. He has been in concussion protocol, missing the last 4 games for West Virginia State, and we will see if he is able to go today, but he is in uniform, has gone through warm-ups for West Virginia State so far today. So potentially that 8-man bench could turn into 9 for the Yellowjackets today here against West Virginia Wesleyan. But back on Wednesday, an 88-70 loss against Davis and Elkins. Trey Harris and Jalen Subject, each with 21 points in that game, each hampered by different things. Subject dealt with some foul trouble in the first half, really turned it on in the second half. Harris played all 40 minutes but struggled around the rim. He was just 8 of 23 from the field, was still able to score 21 points and pull down 10 rebounds. But West Virginia State going to need some more efficiency out of its leading scorer if they want to walk out of here with a win and a spot in the conference tournament guaranteed today. Again, Goodman also in double figures for the Yellowjackets in that 88-70 loss against Davis and Elkins. Wesleyan coming off of a loss to the University of Charleston. They are now 2-22 on the season, 1-16 in the league, but that one conference win came against West Virginia State. 89-72 the loss at home for Wesleyan back on Wednesday, despite 26 points from Curtis Litton. He hit 6 3-pointers for Wesleyan. Isaiah Baker and Jarrell Jean-Baptiste also in double figures for head coach Derek Sloan's team. And those are 3 guys they're going to need to lean on. Jean-Baptiste really lit up West Virginia State from behind the 3-point line the first time around, and he is certainly going to be among the players West Virginia State is focused on defensively. Litton has really turned it on from 3-point range in particular of late as well. Again, coming off that 26-point, 6-rebound performance, the Clay County native playing a little bit closer to home today. We'll see what he can do here against West Virginia State. Taking a look at this West Virginia Wesleyan team, expect Derek Sloan to play a lot of guys and expect a lot of guys to try to put the ball in the basket. Their leading scorer on the season is now Isaiah Baker, at just over 11 points per game. Litton right behind him at 10.5. Jean-Baptiste a touch over 10. Then you've got Stephen Ovia, who averages 9 a game. He has missed the last 8 games for Wesleyan, and he is not here today, did not make the trip. So the 6'9" center from the UK is out for Wesleyan today. And again, that is 9 points and 6 rebounds per game that they do not have available for this game here against West Virginia State. And he was a factor the first time these 2 played. So you've got the 3 leading scorers in Baker, Litton, and Jean-Baptiste. You lose Ovia. Beyond that, it's a whole bunch of guys that average between 4 and 8 points per game. Adrius Janciauskas, freshman from Lithuania, averages a little bit over 8 per game. He was great against West Virginia State the first time around. Jaden Westfall averages 6. Tristan Harkins averages 5. Lamont Jones averages 5. Nick Davis averages 4.5. Milo Sirovic averages 5. You get the idea for this West Virginia Wesleyan team. They're going to share the basketball around. A lot of guys are going to get opportunities. A lot of guys are going to get shots. And Derek Sloan is going to try to ride the hot hand and keep his team's postseason hopes alive into the final week of the regular season. West Virginia State, its path is simple. You win today, you clinch a spot in the Mountain East Conference tournament. West Virginia Wesleyan, you've got to win today. You've got to win at least one more game the rest of the way to match West Virginia State in the standings. West Virginia State with 3 conference wins, Wesleyan with 1, with 3 games left to play, including this one here today. West Virginia State trying to lock up its spot in Wheeling for the MEC tournament when we return. The starting lineups and the tip-off coming up after this. It's West Virginia State basketball on 107.3 The
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
For more than 125 years, West Virginia State University has been educating generations of students who have gone on to change the world.
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy trails, fuel up the way West Virginians do at Little General Stores. We're proud to be part of your ride. Rooted in West Virginia and built for the back roads. Little General Stores. Fuel your adventure the West Virginia way.
We're just about ready to tip things off between West Virginia State and West Virginia Wesleyan in Mountain East Conference men's basketball action. But before we do, we've got some recognition for the Yellowjackets as West Virginia State forward Jalen Subject scored his 1,000th collegiate point back on Wednesday against Davis and Elkins. Second West Virginia State player to achieve that mark this season. Andrew Shull doing it just about a week ago, and now Jalen Subject hits the 1,000-point mark. He's met at midcourt by head coach Brian Poore. Got the commemorative basketball, and those two are going to get some photos snapped. Jalen Subject has really come on so strong of late for West Virginia State and helped the Yellowjackets win 2 of their last 3 games. But let's set the starting lineups for this game between West Virginia State and West Virginia Wesleyan. First, For the visitors from West Virginia Wesleyan, 2-22 in the season, 1-16 in the Mountain East Conference under fifth-year head coach Derek Sloan. Starts in the backcourt with Lamont Jones, a 5'10" senior from Williamsburg, Virginia. In his second season at Wesleyan, averages 5 points and a touch over a rebound per game. He's joined by Jarrell Jean-Baptiste, the 5'10" redshirt sophomore from Orlando, Florida. Averages 10 points and shoots 42% from three-point range. It's a three-guard lineup with Isaiah Baker, the 6'3" junior from Daytona Beach, Florida, averaging 11 points per game. He's the team's leading scorer for Wesleyan. And then in the front court, Jaden Westfall plays a little bit of a small ball four. He's a 6'4" sophomore from Buchanan, West Virginia, 6 points, 4 rebounds per game. And in the middle, Curtis Litton is a senior, 6'8" from Clay County. He is a stretch five, to say the least. 45 three-pointers hit this season, shoots 39% from behind the arc, 10.5 points and 4 rebounds per game for Wesleyan. For West Virginia State, starting lineup the same as it was back on Wednesday. The Yellowjackets do have Norris Bourne back in uniform today, was in the starting lineup leading up to his injury a couple of weeks ago. He will not start today, but he is in uniform for the Jackets. Andrew Shull runs the point, 6', 195, a grad student from Milton, West Virginia. Played 117 consecutive minutes until he was taken out at the end of the West Virginia State Davis and Elkins game back on Wednesday. He's joined in the backcourt by, as we've said over the last 2 games for West Virginia State, now for a third, maybe the tallest two-guard in the country, 6'9", 185, Hassan Belkadar, a junior from Poissy, France, averaging 10 points and 6 rebounds per game. On the wings for West Virginia State, Trey Harris, this team's leading scorer at 16 points and 6 rebounds. The junior, 6'7", 205 from Houston, Texas, averaging 25 points per game over the last 5 for West Virginia State, along with Bryson Smith, 6'7", 200, a redshirt freshman from Cross Lanes, averaging 3.5 points, 1.5 rebounds. And then Jalen Subject, the small ball 5 for the Jackets, 6'5", 185, the junior from Beaumont, Texas, averaging 14 points and 6 rebounds. Belkadar in the center jump circle with Litton for West Virginia Wesleyan. The ball goes in the air. It's tapped into the backcourt and grabbed by Lamont Jones for Wesleyan, and the Bobcats will attack from left to right across your radio dial. Orange on the road for Wesleyan with black and white stripes on the shorts and the sleeves of the jerseys. Wesleyan on the chest in black, trimmed in white, with a black numeral outlined in white as well. They go inside, left block to Westfall, to Baker cutting into the paint. He backs in on Harris, spins to his left, forces up a shot, and scores off the glass. Home whites for West Virginia State, gold numerals trimmed in black, the Stinger logo on the chest, and gold trim down either side of the jersey and the shorts. Wesleyan comes out in a matchup zone defense. It's Belkadar left of the circle into the corner for Bryson Smith. He brings it back out on the dribble, goes to Harris between the circles, back to Smith. Here's a left wing 3 on the way, swish. Bryson Smith gets things started on the right foot, his 9th three-pointer of the season. And the Yellowjackets go ahead 3-2, 55 seconds gone. Jones penetrating into the lane, spins on Shull, runner off the back of the rim, grabbed off there by Belkadar. He'll bring it out himself for West Virginia State. Quickly across midcourt, left side to Shull, a dribble back to the middle of the floor, swinging right side. Here's Smith open for 3 again, off the catch, he fires away and he hits it. Back-to-back threes, Bryson Smith gets West Virginia State off to a good start. Here's Baker in transition, reverse layup missed. Rebound Harris, West Virginia State. Flipped ahead, Subject 3-on-2 up for Belkadar. Takes it to the rim and slams it with both hands. 8-0 run for West Virginia State. 2 threes from Bryson Smith and a punch from Hassan Belkadar to go ahead by 6. Belkadar nearly with a steal. Here's Jean-Baptiste for a left wing 3, left it short. Rebound Harris, Jackets want to run. And now Harris will slow the pace as he comes across midcourt. Back between the circles to Smith. Lobbed right wing for Belkadar. He penetrates on Jean-Baptiste. Hop steps down on the block. Wraps a pass inside for Smith cutting to the hoop. He's tied up by Baker. Tries to flip it back out to Belkadar. It's stolen. Kicked ahead, Jean-Baptiste over midcourt, nearly lost it out of bounds. He'll pull up for a left wing 3 in transition. Hits back rim, rebound Subject. West Virginia State with the basketball, another stop on defense. Under 18 minutes to play here in this first half. Reversed right side, Andrew Shull catch and shoot 3. He got one of his own. 17:45 to play first half. West Virginia State with its 3rd three-pointer, it's 11-2. An 11-0 run for the Yellowjackets in the last minute and a half. Here's Jones into the front court, crossover, left hand, pulls up, left elbow, sinks it. Quick move from Lamont Jones to get inside the three-point line. Enough separation from Shull to get the shot off. Shull the other way to Belkadar, right wing, drives with the left hand, looking underneath for Smith. It's deflected and stolen, taken by Litton. Outlet left side. Jones pushes it up across midcourt. Kicked right wing to Westfall into the corner for Baker. Looking inside, goes back out to Litton, and it's swung between the circles for Jones. Gets a switch off the screen to Smith. He penetrates into the lane, hangs in the air, his pass deflected out of bounds over the West Virginia State bench. Last hit by Jalen Subject. So it'll be Wesleyan basketball out of bounds with 17:04 to play in this first half. It's 11-4, West Virginia State ahead of the Bobcats. Lamont Jones with it between the circles, works left, gives it to Litton, top of the key. He's open for three, he hits it. Can't leave Curtis Litton open. That's his 46th three-pointer of the season. He shoots 39% from behind the arc. 11-7, West Virginia State ahead, 16:45 to play first half. Shull powers his way over midcourt, guarded right of the circle by Jean-Baptiste, bouncing it for Subject, top of the key, faces up, gives it left of the circle to Belkadar. He's going to take a three to try to answer. It's an air ball. Out of bounds, back to Wesleyan. Belkadar had a hand in his face, tried to rise up over Litton and missed everything. Jones jogs it over midcourt, gives to Baker right of the circle. He faces the basket, back to Jones straight away. He'll take a three over Shull. Hits high off the back of the rim. Rebound tipped away from Baker by Smith, and it's grabbed by Belkadar. Kicked left side to Harris. Working left of the circle, ahead to Shull in the corner. Back to Harris. 26 feet from the hoop, crosses over to the left hand, picks it up, skip pass right side. Here's Smith open for three. That one's off the front of the rim. Long rebound, Lamont Jones. He'll bring it across midcourt for Wesleyan down the right side. 16 minutes to play here first half. To Litton straight away, now to Jean-Baptiste. Jean-Baptiste penetrates to the free throw line, pulls up, 15-footer on the way, got it. West Virginia State with an 11-0 run. Wesleyan answers with 7 straight of its own. It's 11-9, 15:45 to play first half. Harris wants to go to work, spins into the free throw line, draws a double team, uses up the dribble, gets it to Smith right side. Looking into Belkadar, he gets it in the corner, 15 feet from the hoop, backing down on Westfall. Belkadar, right of the lane, gives it in to Harris cutting. He's hit across the arm. And we'll get a foul caught on Jean-Baptiste. The question is it a shooting foul? It is. Our officials today: a crew we've seen throughout the season and among the better in the Mountain East Conference. First shot from Harris drops through the net. Former West Virginia High School standout Bryson Flowers making the call on that one. Second shot for Harris, off back rim, rebounded by Jones. 15.5 minutes to play first half. It's 12-9 West Virginia State. Across midcourt it goes to Litton. Out high to Baker, back to Jean-Baptiste. A shot fake, now left side. Litton will hoist a three with a hand in his face, and he hit it. Ties the game at 12. 6'8" with that kind of reach can get the shot off. Here's Smith coming the other way. Out to Subject right wing, guarded by Westfall. Jab steps, now drives down the baseline. Takes a second defender, throws to Harris, cutting into the lane. And he takes it up over Jones and scores. 5 minutes off the clock. It's 14-12 West Virginia State. Jean-Baptiste guarded by Belkadar down the right side. Turns the corner, takes it to the hoop. Shot fake, lays it in. Belkadar just couldn't stay in front. It's 14-all. Both offenses picking up here early on. Subject brings it over midcourt. Harris posted in on Baker, looking to get it to him. Lobs it into the corner, draws a double team, back to Subject. Here's a left wing three on the way. He hit it. Jalen Subject on the board for West Virginia State. 14.5 minutes to play. It's 17-4. Here's Jones on the attack against Shull. Hop step in the lane, off the window, no. Rebound Bryson Smith. Back come the Jackets. 3-on-3 into the front court. Smith crossover top of the key to Belkadar, cutting the baseline. It's deflected loose, grabbed by Baker. Back comes Wesleyan. Up ahead, right side, Westfall. In on Subject. Takes it down onto the block and brings it back on the dribble behind the arc to the free throw line. Litton, catch and shoot jumper. Hits the nose of the rim and he gets the roll. Litton has 8 points early for Wesleyan, coming off 26 back on Wednesday against Charleston. Across midcourt comes Trey Harris. Leaves his feet to make a pass to Shull that's deflected. Shull gets it back up ahead, Subject. He penetrates into the lane. Backing in on Litton. Out to Belkadar. Open for a left corner three. Left it short. Goes up over the backboard, out of play. And that will take us to a timeout on the floor. 13:42 to play in the first half. West Virginia State leads West Virginia Wesleyan 17-16. It's Yellow Jacket basketball on 107.3 The Beat.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
For more than 125 years, West Virginia State University has been educating generations of students who have gone on to change the world.
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
.42 to play first half. West Virginia State leads West Virginia Wesleyan 17-16. Wesleyan making the first substitutions of the game. Nick Davis is checked in, 6'5 junior from Macon, Georgia, along with Milos Sirovic, 6'5 sophomore from Belgrade, Serbia. Both of them junior college transfers. West Virginia State still rolling with its starting five. Wesleyan with the basketball and a chance to take the lead on this possession. Sirovic in to run the point in place of Lamont Jones. Sirovic across midcourt, hands off to Baker, back to Jean-Baptiste between the circles, fakes a pass, now gives to Litton straight away. Looking right side, pass deflected, it finds Jean-Baptiste anyway. He picks up the dribble, gives to Davis, left of the circle, out to Sirovic, right side. He drives on Shull, nearly lost the basketball. Gives it back to Baker, who strides through the lane. His layup off the rim, no. Rebound, Bryson Smith, West Virginia State. Up ahead, right side, Belkadar, down onto the wing, brings it between his legs, looking back for Shull, gets it to him between the circles. Right side, Belkadar looking into subject. Size advantage on Jean-Baptiste. Draws two. Whips a pass that's deflected. It's loose. It's grabbed by Sirovic. Wesleyan headed the other way. 3-on-2. Up ahead, Litton. In on Shull. Scoops it in with the right hand. And Wesleyan's got the lead 18-17. First time they've gone ahead since 2-0. Shull across midcourt. Left side, subject. Back to Shull. Straight away three from 25 feet. Rims out. Rebound inside Litton. Flips it to Baker, who brings it up across midcourt. Bryson Smith waits for him at the top of the key. He penetrates, Euro steps, floater, off the front of the rim, rebound Jackets. Bryson Smith comes out with it for West Virginia State. Up to Belkadar over midcourt, stops top of the key, hands it off to Shull, right of the free throw circle. Into the right side corner for Harris. He waves off Belkadar, sizes up Sirovic, goes between his legs, steps back. Here's a three on the way. Missed it long. Rebound Litton, West Virginia Wesleyan. 12:20 to play first half. It's the Bobcats by a point, 18-17. Sirovic quickly across midcourt. Crosses over right hand out to Baker. A shot fake, gives it back to Litton between the circles. Swung left wing Davis, driving on subject. He's turned away. He picks up the dribble, gets it to Baker straight away. Baker driving with the left hand on Harris, backing down onto the block, flips it to Davis, cutting down the baseline, reverse layup, scores. Wesleyan up by 3. It's 20-17 with 11:55 to play in the opening half. Harris across midcourt, down the right side, back to Belkadar. He drives on Litton, spins at the free throw line, lost the ball, but a whistle and a foul. That's going to be either Litton or Jean-Baptiste. It's Litton called for it. And it's going to put Hassan Belkadar at the free throw line. Call it a shooting foul. First foul caught on Curtis Litton. Team foul number 2 on West Virginia Wesleyan. They've been letting him play, but there really has not been a whole lot of physicality between these two teams. Just 2 fouls called so far. They're both on Wesleyan. First shot for Belkadar, hits the nose of the rim, but he gets the roll. 74% free throw shooter. Both teams will make 2 changes as Baker and Litton go out. Westfall into the game along with Tristan Harkins for Wesleyan. Norris Bourne checking in for the first time for West Virginia State in now 4 games. Took an elbow against Fairmont State, was split open still, has a bandage over his right eye, but has cleared concussion protocol. He's good to go. Second free throw missed by Belkadar. That's going to keep Blake Goodman at the scorer's table. 2-point game, 20-18, Wesleyan ahead. It's Sirovic between the circles, holds the ball overhead, fakes a pass, gives it right to the circle to Jean-Baptiste. He drives on Belkadar, stops down on the block, fakes a pass to Westfall, back to Sirovic straight away. Jab step on Bourne, drives into the lane, kicked out Westfall. Here's a left corner 3, off the front of the rim, rebounded by Trey Harris for West Virginia State. He'll bring it up on the dribble, 11:20 to play in the half, chance to tie or take the lead. Harris between his legs, out to Bourne. His first shot back from the right wing is an open 3. It's off the back of the rim. Harkins clears it for Wesleyan. Kicked ahead to Sirovic down the right side. Transition 3 on the way. Missed it long. Foul called on the rebound. Harris called for the push on Nick Davis. Harris tried to get the break started on the rebound, but was able to free up some space by pushing off of Davis. Goodman into the game for Belkadar. First foul against West Virginia State called on Trey Harris at the 11:07 mark of the first half. Harkins will inbound the ball, baseline to the left. Looking into the corner, gets it to Jean-Baptiste. He's guarded by Subject. Jab step, shot fake, now fires from 17. Air ball. Rebound on the backside for Andrew Shull. 11 minutes to play first half. West Virginia State trails by 2. Norris Bourne with it right of the circle. Working on Jean-Baptiste. Turns his back to the defender. Gives it to Shull. Handoff left side, Blake Goodman. Skipped right side to Trey Harris on the wing. He rips through, steps into the lane, lays it up off the glass and in. Tough move from Harris. Got by Jean-Baptiste on the dribble, stepped across on Davis and flipped it off the glass for 2. Back comes Tristan Harkins inside the three-point line. Out to Jean-Baptiste straight away, left wing Davis, catch and shoot 3. Back rim, no. Taken out by Shull, lob pass ahead, thrown out of bounds. Was looking for Harris in transition. Harris wasn't looking for the ball. So a turnover back to West Virginia Wesleyan. That is the 5th West Virginia State turnover. Wesleyan hasn't turned over the ball at all. 10:29 to play first half. We are tied 20-20 between the Yellowjackets and the Bobcats. Harkins runs the point. He gives it on to the right wing for Davis. Back to Sirovic between the circles. Flips a one-handed pass right side to Westfall. He spins into the high post. Backing in on Subject. Kicked out Harkins. Here's a left wing triple. Got it. 35% three-point shooter Tristan Harkins. It's his 25th of the season. Back come the Yellowjackets. Harris driving in on Westfall. Had the shot blocked, but he was bumped with the body. It's 2 free throws coming now for Trey Harris. Quick pass over the top for West Virginia State in transition. Harris took it to the bucket himself instead of throwing the cross-court pass for Goodman, and it's going to get him 2 at the line. That foul called on Westfall is his first. The free throw from Harris goes through the net. 21 points for Trey back on Wednesday. He's averaging nearly 25 over the last 5 games as Baker comes back in and replaces Jean-Baptiste. Second shot for Harris. Good as well. Makes it a 1-point game. 23-20, Wesleyan ahead with 10:05 first half. Baker down the right side. Hands it off for Harkins down the wing. A shot fake goes between his legs, steps back behind the arc, gives it to Baker straight away. He drives in on Harris, spins to his left, finger roll, won't go. Rebound deflected. Davis grabs it and lays it in for Wesleyan. Harris had it and then lost it off the backboard. Davis was there to clean up the pieces. Into the front court to the right side. Bourne now to Subject. Left-hand dribble, swings it back to Harris, top of the key. Onto the wing for Shull. Goodman sets a screen for him. Shull goes between his legs, gives it to Goodman, top of the key. Left side, Bourne, 10 to shoot. Jab steps on Harkins, now pops a contested 3, left it short. Long rebound, out of bounds, back to Wesleyan. And it'll take us to a timeout. 9:24 to play. West Virginia State trails by 3 here in the first half. It's West Virginia Wesleyan 25, the Yellowjackets 22. This is Yellowjacket basketball on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
West Virginia State trails West Virginia Wesleyan 25-22. The Yellowjackets started the game on an 11-2 run. Wesleyan answered, and it's been back and forth ever since. Same 5 on the floor for the Yellowjackets. Trey Harris, Andrew Shull, Blake Goodman, Jalen Subject, Norris Bourne. Same goes for Wesleyan, which looks inside for Tristan Harkins. He gets the ball, bounces it to a cutting Jaden Westfall, who lost it out of bounds. The other 3 in the game for Wesleyan, Nick Davis, Isaiah Baker, and Curtis Litton. who has checked into the game, so I'll have to correct myself. Litton back into place. Milos Sirovic. Andrew Schull walks it across midcourt, calls the play. Wesleyan in a 2-3 zone with 9 minutes to play here in the first half. Schull bounces it high post to Harris, out right side Goodman. Back to Harris, top of the key, flip to Schull. 12 on the shot clock. Schull to Goodman, right wing. A shot fake looking into Subject. It's tipped and stolen. Westfall comes out with it. Ahead 3-on-2, left side, working left of the lane to Litton, free throw line jumper. Got it. Curtis Litton, silky smooth jump shot. He's got 12 points and is 5 for 5 from the floor. High post Subject attacking. Steps back, 15-footer of his own, missed. Rebound Goodman, West Virginia State. Out to Subject, back to Schull, straight on three from 26 feet, and he got another. Second three-pointer for Andrew Schull makes it 27-25. 8:20 to play first half. Harkins on the attack, steps back at the free throw line. Kicks back out, Westfall on the left wing. Top of the key, Baker, guarded by Goodman. To Westfall left side, drives the baseline against Harris, flips it to Davis cutting into the paint. He muscles his way to the basket and flips it off the glass for two. 4-point game, 29-25. Schull across midcourt left side, Bourne into the corner for Subject. He drives against Litton, spins back to the middle of the floor, gives to Schull. 2 dribbles down, pulls up from 17, swish. Andrew Schull with back-to-back buckets. He has 8 points for West Virginia State. It's 29-27. 7:40 to play here in the opening half. Gale Lamb has gone to the scorer's table for West Virginia State. Harkins picks up his dribble in the front court, gives it out onto the right wing for Litton. Back to the top of the key, Westfall. Fakes a pass left, throws one right to Davis. 12 to shoot. He nearly lost the handle, gets it back to Westfall at the top of the key. Jab steps, now Harkins on the left side. He'll fire away from 25. It's off the back of the rim, rebounded by Goodman. Chance for West Virginia State to tie or take the lead with 7:15 to play in the half. Schull's got the hot hand. He brings it across midcourt. Throws onto the right elbow for Subject. Faces the basket on Baker. Pulls it back behind the three-point line. Gets a new play call. Subject, right side, in and out move with the left hand. Whips it left corner. Here's Bourne, a shot fake. Drives on Westfall. Spins down to the baseline. Left hand layup. Scores it. Tough bucket from Norris Bourne. Put his head down, flipped his hips towards the baseline, and put it in to tie the game. 29-29, under 7 minutes to play in the opening half. Harkins touches his chin to make the play call and swings it left side for Westfall. Back to Litton, top of the key. Westfall pops out left wing, a catch and shoot three, yes. 32-29 with 6.5 minutes to play in the half. Schull up over midcourt, bounce the Subject at the free throw line, turns, fires from 15, got it. West Virginia State starting to find the soft spots in the Wesleyan zone. Here's a pass over the top to Litton on the right wing. Baker, top of the key, drives left hand in on Bourne, shot fake, layup, got it. Isaiah Baker does not often go to his right, but he's really hard to stop going to his left. And he makes it a 3-point game again. Here's Subject sizing up Davis, working down onto the right wing. Hesitates, now drives down into the corner, spins middle of the floor, out to Schull, left wing three to tie the game, missed long, rebound, backside. Bourne nearly had his jersey ripped off by Baker. Now he's knocked to the floor as he goes back up, and they're going to call the foul on that. So 2 shots coming for Norris Bourne. Got tangled up with Baker on that rebound, was able to maintain possession of it, put it back up, and get 2 foul shots. Totally incidental contact, I think, there from Baker. Just got his arm, it looked like Cotton Bourne's jersey as he came down. But Norris is going to go to the free throw line for 2. Again, his first game back after missing the last handful with concussion protocol. He makes the first. 84% free throw shooter on the season. Andrew Schull out of the game for the first time. Gale Lamb checks in for West Virginia State. Nick Davis back out for Wesleyan, replaced by Lamont Jones. Second shot for Bourne, spins around the rim and goes. It's a 1-point game. 5:50 left in the half, 34-33. Sirovic across midcourt to Baker right side. West Virginia State in a zone. It goes high post. Litton, turnaround jumper, no. Rebound tipped. Westfall had it for a moment, lost it off his leg, out of play. So another chance to retake the lead, 34-33. Inbound goes to Trey Harris. He's not had a lot of opportunities, but he scored 7 points on 2 for 3 shooting. Harris working on Sirovic. Top of the key, left side Subject. Hesitates, starts to penetrate, now pulls it back out. Left of the free throw circle, will step into a 3 off the dribble, missed it short, chases his own rebound, tips it to himself, puts it back up and sticks it in. 35-34, Jackets ahead on a hustle play from Jalen Subject. Sirovic across midcourt, high post, Litton finds Westfall cutting the baseline, kicked out right corner. Here's Baker on an open three, missed it long. Gale Lamb rebounds, here's West Virginia State 3-on-2. Lamb up ahead, Goodman, left corner three in transition, left it short, it's off the rim and it drops through. Just hit the perfect angle to pop straight up in the air, hit the rim 2 more times and went down. Here's a bounce pass inside Litton, a floater in the lane goes. 38-36, 4:45 to play first half. Yellowjackets ahead. Subject up over midcourt. Left side gets a screen from Goodman. Back to Goodman, top of the key, working on Baker. Goes between his legs, throws right side. Bourne, here's a 25-footer. He got it! Norris Bourne back like he never left. Hits it from way outside. It's a 5-point game. Momentum with West Virginia State. Wesleyan goes high post to Litton. Back out to Jones. One dribble, right elbow jumper, yes. Lamont Jones with that mid-range game only averages about 5. He's got 4 here in the first half. Goodman walks it up the left side. Back between the circles, Harris. What can he do against Sirovic? Goes between his legs to Goodman, left of the circle. Catch and shoot 3, you bet. 44-38 with 4 minutes to play in the first half. Yellowjackets ahead by 6. Wesleyan trading 3s for 2s. Here's Litton for 3. Off back rim, rebound Subject. Flip to Harris right side. He dribbles across midcourt, goes between his legs, driving on Westfall, right of the lane, hop steps, kicks it out. Gale Lamb on a left corner 3. It rattles in, but he stepped out of bounds first. And that takes us to our final media time out of the first half. 3:42 to play first half. West Virginia State's hit its last 4 shots, and the Yellowjackets lead Wesleyan 44-38. This is West Virginia State basketball on 107.3.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
For more than 125 years, West Virginia State University has been educating generations of students who have gone on to change the world.
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
.342 to play first half. West Virginia State leads West Virginia Wesleyan 44-38. The Yellowjackets coming on strong from behind the three-point line. Blake Goodman with a 3. Norris Bourne with a 3. Andrew Shull's got a couple. Bryson Smith has a couple. And the Yellowjackets are 8 of 17 from behind the arc. And that's really what has sparked this run to take a 6-point advantage. Out of the timeout, Wesleyan with the basketball. Milos Sirovic into the right corner for Isaiah Baker. Back to Sirovic on the give and go. Missed it off the front of the rim. Just blew the layup. Rebounded by Trey Harris. Back comes West Virginia State over midcourt. Harris attacking with the left hand to Gale Lamb in the corner. Lamb will bring it back out high, give to Norris Bourne between the circles. Bourne with a left-hand dribble. Out to Harris in the corner. Back top of the key, Goodman. He drives down left of the lane, flips it up against Litton, knocked to the floor. Couldn't get it over the rim, but he'll get 2 free throws instead. Goodman trying to finger roll it in and left it short. And he's going to get 2 free throws. Assistant coach Joel Brokenbro just looked at him and said, go up and dunk the basketball. Goodman maybe got a little too fancy for his own good. Going in on Litton, and he misses the first free throw, left it short. Lamont Jones checks out, replaced by Jarrell Jean-Baptiste. That foul on Litton is his second, but Derek Sloan's going to leave him in the game. Goodman splits the pair. It's a 7-point West Virginia State lead, 45-38. 3:10 to play first half. Sirovic walking across midcourt. Sends to Baker. Back between the circles, Sirovic. West Virginia State in the zone. Here's Jean-Baptiste on the left wing 3. He got it. Jarrell Jean-Baptiste missed his first 2 3-pointers. He's not going to miss many more than that, especially when he's that wide open. 45-41. Harris to Goodman, right wing, goes between his legs, driving on Litton, spins into the lane, out for Harris, left wing. Can he answer from behind the arc? He does. Nothing but net. Trey Harris, 48-41. Back comes Baker across midcourt. 2:40 to play in the half. Right side, Jean-Baptiste, Bourne with two hands in his face. Brings it back between the circles. Stutter steps, gives it right side, Sirovic. Sirovic back to Jean-Baptiste, around to Baker left side. Crossover, drive into the lane against Goodman. Off the glass, no. Rebound, tipped in the air. Lamb had it for a moment. It's loose, it's grabbed by West Virginia State. Up ahead, Subject. Left side, Bourne. Transition, shot fake, gets around Litton. Penetrates, hop step in the lane. Floater, drops. Norris Bourne with some fresh legs back from injury has 9 points here in the first half. It's 50-41 West Virginia State. 2:05 left first half. Baker back to Sirovic. Fakes a pass, now drives left hand into the lane. Finger rolls it in over Lamb. And back comes West Virginia State in a hurry. Harris up over midcourt. Tries to take advantage of the situation, goes between his legs, sizing up Sirovic, steps back behind the arc, kicks to Goodman, drives the baseline, skip pass right side, deflected, finds Bourne. Between the circles, here's one from 28. It's off the front of the rim, rebound tipped by Lamb. Goodman grabs it, he lays it in. Second chance points for West Virginia State, 9 of them here in the first half. It's 52-43. Jean-Baptiste, right side, Sirovic, back to Jean-Baptiste, catch and shoot three, banked it in from 25 feet away. Nobody rotated out, and he banked it in from straight on. 52-46 with 1:20 left in the half. Subject crossover on Westfall to the right side corner for Bourne. Shot fake, steps back, didn't shoot it, gives it back to Goodman between the circles. Working on Litton. He'll take a three off the dribble. Missed it, left side, rebound Jean-Baptiste. 1 minute to play, first half, a 6-point West Virginia State lead. Sirovic into the front court. On the attack, pulls up from 15, swished it. 52-48. West Virginia State has led by as much as 7 in these last few moments. They lead by 4 now. Harris switched on to Litton left side, steps back. Here's a corner three on the way. He got another. Trey Harris with a hand in his face. It doesn't matter. Doubles the lead. Excuse me, should be a 7-point lead. Unless the officials called it a 2. It says 54-48 on the board as Sirovic slices in and lays it in. Official stats have it 55-50. Scoreboard has 54. And Subject stepped out of bounds. Derek Sloan's going to take his use it or lose it timeout. Now they've corrected it on the official score. And they give Harris a 2 for that last shot. It's 54-50. And after the turnover, Wesleyan will have the ball with 21 seconds left here in the half. Both of these teams lighting it up with their shot making. West Virginia State 19 of 31 from the field. Wesleyan 22 of 41. That's 61% and 54% respectively. These are two teams that both can put up points, but both give up a lot of points. Wesleyan allows about 95 a game. West Virginia State around 91. So not a surprise we're seeing some points. Now West Virginia State averages about 82. Wesleyan averages just 73. So if you're West Virginia State, thought process has to be start getting a few stops, and perhaps you can extend this lead out a bit and keep your pace while slowing down the Bobcats. 20 seconds to play, shot clock turned off. West Virginia State in a 2-3 zone as Sirovic brings it over midcourt. Waist-high right-hand dribble just inside the halfway line. Calls for a screen from Westfall, working to his right, gives it to Baker. He fakes a pass into the corner, and an offensive foul is called away from the ball, and it's the third on Curtis Litton. Got called for clearing out Trey Harris underneath, and Litton has picked up his third, and Brian Poore is going to take a timeout with 6 seconds left in the half. Now the question becomes, is Derek Sloan going to bring Litton out of the game with those 3? Would certainly say common sense tells you so, given that you don't want him to pick up the 4th on this defensive possession. Andrew Shull's checked in for West Virginia State. So another shooter on the floor for the Yellowjackets and another ball handler for that matter. Going to have to do something quick. 6.1 seconds on the clock. And Litton is still out there. Tristan Harkins is checked in. He replaces Jean-Baptiste, and they're going to set up in a 1-3-1 zone. At least that's the look of it at first. West Virginia State's got to go the length of the floor. They bounce it into Harris. He brings it to midcourt. Double team. Back to Shull between the circles. Puts down a dribble. Gets to the free throw line. Out for Bourne, who can't get the shot off in time. And we will go to the half with West Virginia State ahead 54-50. Brian Poore looks at Andrew Shull and says, just shoot it. And he probably would have had an open look at it, but the play call was for Norris Bourne, and they couldn't get it off in time. That takes us to the half. Yellowjackets lead West Virginia Wesleyan 54-50. We'll be back to recap the first 20 minutes after this. It's West Virginia State basketball on 107.3 The Beat. 3 minutes, please.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
For more than 125 years, West Virginia State University has been educating generations of students who have gone on to change the world.
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
We're at the half. West Virginia State and West Virginia Wesleyan in Mountain East Conference men's basketball action. The Yellowjackets lead 54-50 over the Bobcats. The West Virginia State cheerleading seniors being recognized as well here at halftime. Always love the support that they bring here inside the Walker Convocation Center. Great to see them get their recognition as well. But let's take a look back at our first half between West Virginia State and West Virginia Wesleyan. 54-50 is our score between the Yellowjackets and the Bobcats. Again, West Virginia State in position to clinch a spot in the Mountain East Conference tournament with a victory today. 2 games up on West Virginia Wesleyan in the Mountain East Conference standings with 3 to play, including today, and the Yellowjackets would be 3 games up with a victory in this game. So the first half numbers, both teams on fire shooting the basketball. West Virginia State 19 of 31 and 9 of 20 from three. That's 61% and 45% respectively. 7 of 10 from the free throw line. Wesleyan shoots 54%, 22 of 41, and 6 of 15 from three-point range. They did not attempt a free throw in that first half. West Virginia State wins the rebounding battle 20-13. 18 points off the bench for the Yellowjackets to 15 for Wesleyan. Wesleyan getting its job done in the paint so far, 24-14 in terms of points in the paint for West Virginia Wesleyan. That really one of the big difference makers so far. Looking at the individual numbers, Trey Harris leads West Virginia State with 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists as well. Blake Goodman and Norris Bourne have each scored 9. Andrew Shull has 8. Jalen Subject has 7. And Bryson Smith has 6. He scored the first 6 points of the game for West Virginia State with back-to-back three-pointers. On the other side for West Virginia Wesleyan, Curtis Litton has 14 points to lead all scorers. Jarrell Jean-Baptiste is in double figures as well. He's got 10. Milos Sirovitz has 6, as does Nick Davis. Tristan Harkins and Jaden Westfall each have 3, and Isaiah Baker has scored 4 here in the first half. 54-50, the lead for West Virginia State at halftime. Plenty of other action going on around the Mountain East Conference as we talk here today, with just 2 games left to play after this one, after these games here today on Saturday. Glenville State and Wheeling are battling in the Northern Panhandle. Wheeling has a lead late in the first half, 2:58 to play in the first half of that game. It is a 42-38 lead for Wheeling. Caleb Murray has scored 14 points for Wheeling. Amar Maxwell has 13 for Glenville State. Frostburg State doing battle with Point Park. 42-21 is the score in that game. That's at the half. Trey Simmons has 10 points. Kyle and Chase Whippen each have 9 for Frostburg. Aiden Anderson has 8 points for Point Park. And again, we'll take a look at the Mountain East Conference standings, take you through the scenarios for the conference tournament going forward. And then in non-conference play, this is just incredible. 13:06 to play in the first half. Fairmont State leads Salem 28-0. Fairmont State is 12 of 15 from the field. Salem is 0 for 13 with 13:06 to play in the first half, and Fairmont State leads that game 28-0. CJ Meredith has scored 10 points for Fairmont State in the early going as they open the game on a 28-0 run against Salem. Incredible. The number 11 team in the nation is lighting things up against the Tigers. And as we speak, Salem has scored its first points. 2 free throws from Zakai Fallon gets Salem on the board with 12:12 to play in this first half. They are still without a field goal. 28-2, Fairmont State ahead of Salem. As I said, Mountain East Conference Tournament starts the first week of March. West Virginia State, with a win today, can clinch a spot in the tournament. The Yellowjackets 2 games up on West Virginia Wesleyan for 10th place. The Yellowjackets are 3-14. West Virginia Wesleyan is 1-16. Yellowjackets nipping at the heels of Point Park and Davis and Elkins would have made things really interesting with a win on Wednesday for State if they could have beaten D&E, because that would have left Point Park at 5-13. as well as West Virginia State and Davis and Elkins both at 4-14. But right now, D&E and Point Park both 5-13, so the Yellowjackets have some work to do if they want to get out of that number 10 seed. And again, they still have to finish ahead of West Virginia Wesleyan to make the conference tournament. Right now, West Liberty is in pole position to win the league, 17-1 overall in the conference. Fairmont State is 15-3. So it would come down to, more likely than not, some upset losses for West Liberty in the final 3 games of the regular season. And, of course, Fairmont State is playing out of conference right now against Salem. So it's West Liberty in first place. Fairmont State, the only team that can catch them, and they're going to need some help from some conference mates to knock off the Hilltoppers in the meantime. Very excited for the Mountain East Conference Tournament. And should West Virginia State clinch that final spot, we'll be happy to bring you the action here on 107.3 The Beat. But it's at the half. West Virginia State leads West Virginia Wesleyan 54-50. We've got national sports headlines coming your way, followed by second half action. It's Yellow Jacket basketball on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy trails, fuel up the way West Virginians do, a Little General Stores. We're proud to be part of your ride. Rooted in West Virginia and built for the back roads. Little General Stores. Fuel your adventure the West Virginia way.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Virginia State taking on West Virginia Wesleyan in Mountain East Conference men's basketball action. A 54-50 lead for West Virginia State at halftime, as West Virginia State looks to clinch a spot in the Mountain East Conference tournament with a win today. Yellow Jacket basketball to start the second half. Starters back on the floor for West Virginia State. That's Jalen Subject, Trey Harris, Andrew Shull, Bryson Smith, Hassan Belkadar. West Virginia Wesleyan goes with its starting five as well. Lamont Jones, Jarrell Jean-Baptiste, Curtis Litton, Isaiah Baker, and Jaden Westfall. Yellow Jackets attack left to right across the broadcast position. Shull to the high post for Subject. Back out high. Belkadar with the basketball. Skips it right side looking for Subject. Deflected out of play by Jones. And West Virginia State will keep it on this end. 18 on the shot clock. With Shull to inbound. Throws to Subject. Top of the key. Faces up on Westfall. Rips through. Drives with the left hand. Gets around the defender. Has it knocked out of his hands. And he's fouled. That'll go against Jean-Baptiste. And that's going to be his second. And it's going to put Jalen Subject at the free throw line for two. So he was in the act of shooting. Had started to jump stop in the lane and was on his way to the hoop. He makes the first. Subject averaging 29 points per game over the last four for West Virginia State. An 80% free throw shooter. He makes both. He's got 9 points here for West Virginia State. Not a ton of opportunities for him in this one, but he's given the Yellow Jackets a 6-point lead. Jones the other way, out onto the right wing for Baker. Finds Jones cutting down through the lane. It's through his hands, out of bounds. Shull rolls it into Harris, who bounces it to himself as he comes across midcourt. Brings it to the left side in front of the West Virginia State bench. Calls for Smith to come screen for him. Harris draws a double, throws it back for Smith. Deflected out of bounds by Jones again. And it's West Virginia State basketball out of bounds. Jones read it perfectly. Harris brought both defenders with him, and he rotated over to come up with a deflection. Inbound Subject back to Shull. Left wing catch and shoot three. Back rim no. Tipped up by Belkadar. He can't put it in. Belkadar got it back again. Had it ripped away by Baker. Pass up the floor. Nearly taken by Harris. It finds Jean-Baptiste. Up ahead left side Westfall. Backing in on Shull. Draws two. Kicked out right side. Litton. Back to Jones. Penetrates left hand into the lane. Off balance runner. Left it short. Belkadar rebounds. A minute gone in the second half. He'll bring it up himself. Up over midcourt. Stops at the top of the key. Fakes a pass inside. Now gives it to Subject, who will reset. Left of the free throw circle, crossover, right hand into the paint, hangs in the air, shot blocked. Rebound, Harris puts it back up. A whistle, a foul, he'll go to the line. A little bit of a delay on the whistle as the foul's called against Westfall, and I think West Virginia State would have been fine if that one just went uncalled because Subject was right there to lay it back in. Now Trey Harris goes to the line for two and makes the first. Saw it on the replay here in the arena. Got hit right on the arm. So it's a good call, but again, West Virginia State Subject was in the act of laying the ball back in when the whistle was blown. Second shot from Harris, hits high off the rim and goes in. Makes it an 8-point game. First 4 points of the second half belong to the Yellow Jackets. It's 58-50. In the front court, Baker down on the right wing to Jean-Baptiste between the circles. Left hand dribble, hands it to Litton. Litton straight away, defended by Belkadar. Handoff goes to Baker. Fakes a pass inside. Now puts down a left-hand dribble, crosses over to his right, takes it to the basket. Shot fake, got him off his feet and scored. Belkadar went for the block. Baker kept both feet planted. Watched him go by and put it in. Harris brings it across the timeline, throws into the corner for Subject. He faces up on Westfall. Now to Shull, left wing. Skip pass right side. Smith back to Belkadar. He'll drive with the left hand. Gets around Litton. Kicks out Subject in the corner. Spins the baseline. Gets around Westfall. Draws two. Cross-court pass stolen. Baker headed the other way, 2-on-1. Takes it down the lane. Touch pass to Jones underneath. Cut off by Shull. Brings it back out to the top of the key. Jones to Jean-Baptiste, right of the circle. Goes between his legs, working on Subject. Lost his footing, gets it back to Baker. He penetrates to the free throw line, pulls up from 15, air ball. Rebound Trey Harris, West Virginia State. 17:45 to play second half, 58-52, the Jackets ahead. Harris stops top of the key, now drives left of the lane, had it knocked away, out of bounds, stays on this end with West Virginia State. 9 players in uniform for West Virginia State today. Cam Wilkes dealing with a back injury, likely to miss the remainder of the season. Here's a lob to Harris, who was shoved in the back as he went up. Baker hit him right in the low back as he went up for the alley-oop. and he wasn't able to flush it, but the foul on Baker is going to put Trey Harris at the free throw line. 17:38 to play second half, 58-52, the West Virginia State lead. As I was saying, 9 in uniform for West Virginia State. Wilkes out with the back injury. First free throw down for Harris. Likely to miss the remainder of the season. Emmerich Toussaint missing his 4th consecutive game with an ankle injury. He's got that left foot in a boot now. Second shot from Harris goes down, makes it an 8-point game, 60-52. And then Lokai Smith sitting out today. Again, they're trying to maintain a red shirt for him. He can play 2 more games and still get the extra year. So they're going to hold him out here down the stretch. Here's Jean-Baptiste cutting in, out to Baker right side. Left-hand drive, nearly lost it, gets it back. His runner off the front of the rim, deflected up in the air, over the backboard, and out of play to West Virginia State. They say Baker was the last to touch it. Tristan Harkins checks in for Wesleyan. He replaces Jones. And Andrew Shull will bring it up the floor. West Virginia State leads by 8. Chance to take the largest lead of the game for either team. Shull slows things down as he comes across midcourt, coming up on 3 minutes played here in the second half. Pass out onto the wing for Bryson. Smith back to Belkadar, right side subject, into the corner for Shull. Tries to flip it to Smith, cutting out, and it's batted out of play by Westfall. West Virginia State will instead have it out of bounds. On the baseline, it's Belkadar throwing out high for subject, leaves his feet to grab it, throws to Shull on the wing, catch and shoot 3, off the front of the rim, rebound tipped by Litton, out of bounds. And West Virginia State will keep it. Shot clock resets to 20. 16:53 left in the game. Belkadar inbounding for West Virginia State, throws left corner. Here's Smith, catch and shoot 3, missed long, rebound fought for, and a whistle. West Virginia State called for the foul. Harris and Belkadar both went up in the air for it with Baker. Rather, that was Westfall. And they'll call it on Belkadar for the bump from behind. Team foul number 1 on West Virginia State, number 1 on Belkadar as well. 16:45, second half. Harkins across the timeline. On the dribble, gives it to Jean-Baptiste straight away. Catch and shoot 3, yes. Belkadar had his hand down. Shots going up immediately in that situation from Jarrell Jean-Baptiste, his second three-pointer, making his 3rd. He's got 13 in the game. Harris swings left side. Belkadar drives the baseline, gets around one, finger rolls it in. Blew by Baker. Litton rotated over late, and Belkadar, contorting his body, scores it for West Virginia State. Here's a give and go to Harkins down the lane, kissed it off the window and scored it. 2 points down for Tristan Harkins. Wesleyan goes to a 2-3 zone. Here's Harris over midcourt, right side. Smith back to Harris between the circles. To Smith, right side, puts down a dribble. Shull pops out and gets it. Bounce to the free throw line, subject. Finds Harris cutting into the lane with a jump pass. He puts it back up, can't get it to go. Second chance blocked, third chance tips it in. 15:50 to play second half. The lead is 7, 64-57. Up the floor comes Litton left side. Back to Baker. He drives left hand in on Harris. Jump stop, has the shot blocked. Smith up over the top for Belkadar, strides to the rim, 2-hand slam dunk. A feathery touch from Hassan Belkadar into the basket as he just dropped it in. It counted it as a dunk. Gale Lamb checking in for West Virginia State with a stoppage. Will send Belkadar to the bench. Nick Davis and Milos Sirovic back in for West Virginia Wesleyan. 15.5 minutes to play in the game. West Virginia State's lead is 9. That matches the largest of the game at 66-57. Harkins sets it up, gives left side to Jean-Baptiste, finds Harkins cutting left of the lane, and he flips it in. Got around subject and got an easy look at 2. 66-59 coming up on 15 minutes to play. Harris down the right side working on Sirovic. In and out move, works his way down onto the block, leaves his feet, passes out to Smith. Flip to Lamb, back to Smith. Shot fake, drives into the lane, gives it to subject. His floater, left it off the front of the rim. Rebound tipped, Harkins has it. Back comes Wesleyan, 4-on-4 into the front court. Harkins left side, goes between his legs, stops at the top of the key, now finds Jean-Baptiste down on the wing, guarded by Shull. Hand in his face, dribble, crossover, fires from 3, off back rim. Rebound Smith. Touch pass goes to Harris. He'll slow things down for West Virginia State. Brian Poor says pick up the pace. Left side it goes to Shull. Handoff subject. Working on Davis. Here's a dribble and a step back 3. It rims out. Sirovic rebounds. Wesleyan headed the other way, 14.5 minutes to play, trailing by 7. Sirovic, left side, Litton, catch and shoot 3, short, rebound, West Virginia State's Jalen Subject. He'll push it across midcourt himself. Subject, straight down the lane, in against Litton, muscles his way to the basket and says, "You're simply too small." Lays it in with the left hand. Subject is in double figures with 11, and the Yellowjackets lead by 9. Here's a pass ahead to Jean-Baptiste. Drives the baseline against Shull. A shot fake. His pass for Davis deflected. It's loose. It's grabbed by Gale Lamb. Here comes West Virginia State 2-on-2. Lamb, left side, takes it in on Harkins. Had the shot blocked. Out of bounds. West Virginia State ball, and we will have a timeout on the floor. 13:58 to play. The Yellowjackets matching their largest lead of the game at 68-59. This is West Virginia State basketball on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
$13:58 to play, second half. West Virginia State leads West Virginia Wesleyan 68-59. Yellowjackets have the basketball. Tristan Harkins blocked the shot and is trying to argue with official Bryson Flowers that Gale Lamb touched it as it went out of bounds. But no replay review available. It's West Virginia State ball. Lamb will inbound it on the baseline to the left. Throwing high for Jalen Subject. Gets it at the top of the key. Dribbles, hands off to Andrew Shull, and we got a whistle and a technical foul called against West Virginia Wesleyan's bench. Not really sure exactly what happened. Something was said from the bench as the ball was inbound. The clock's running, by the way, as Andrew Shull goes to the line and makes the first free throw. 7 seconds just came off the clock, so they're going to have to get that addressed. But a technical foul issued to the West Virginia Wesleyan bench. Going to have to probably go back and try to figure out what occurred. Again, the ball gets inbounded to Subjects. Play goes on as normal. Nothing happens in the play. And then the official just looks at the West Virginia State bench, rather West Virginia Wesleyan bench, and signals a technical foul. Second shot from Shull, nothing but net. They've reset the clock to 13:54. And the Yellow Jacket lead is 11 with the basketball. Largest lead of the game, 72-59. And Gale Lamb to inbound for the Yellow Jackets. Looking, throws high post to Subject. Backing in on the smaller Harkins, muscles his way into the lane. Turnaround jumper, he hit it from 12 feet. Jalen Subject's got 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. It's a 13-point West Virginia State lead. Back comes Nick Davis at the top of the key to Milos Sirovic's right side. Spins to his right, looking into Jean-Baptiste. Can't get it to him. Back to Litton between the circles. Guarded by Smith, goes between his legs, throws left side. Jean-Baptiste, one dribble, a shot fake back to Sirovic's right side. Jab steps, now drives on Trey Harris. Loses the ball on his way up, but a whistle and a foul. And they're going to call that a shooting foul. Sirovic was in the air. The ball was leaving his hand. Now the question becomes, was it a shot or a pass? They're going to say it was a shot. Harris very clearly got him across the arm. It is a foul. The only question was Sirovic shooting. Officials rule that he was, and he goes to the line where he is a 61% free throw shooter. First one on the way, he got it. Sirovic, a transfer from Fulton Montgomery Community College, native of Serbia, played 1 year in junior college. 14 points, 5.5 rebounds, nearly 6 assists per game. Averaging 5 points and 3 rebounds here for West Virginia Wesleyan. Second shot, drops through as well. 72-61, with 3:24 to play. West Virginia State basketball. Harris jogs it over midcourt. Now goes on the attack. A left-hand dribble down onto the wing. Gets a switch on to Nick Davis. One hands it back to Subject. Right of the circle. Catch and shoot three. You bet. Jalen Subject heating up in the second half. He's got 16. It's a 14-point advantage. Sirovic the other way, right of the circle. Davis out for Litton on the wing. Fumbled the pass, gives it back to Sirovic. Now to Litton again, right of the circle. Handoff Jean-Baptiste. 24-foot three-pointer. Missed it right side. Jalen Subject grabs it for West Virginia State. Jackets on the run. Up ahead to Harris. Kicked left wing. Gale Lamb. Catch and shoot three. Off back rim. Rebound Harris. Stick back. Got it. 77-61, Jackets extending the lead, largest of the game by 16 points. 12:40 to go. It's Jean-Baptiste into the front court, looking to the high post for Litton. He'll heave it from 26 feet. It's missed off the right side. Harris headed the other way, 3-on-2. Tries to bounce a pass to Smith that goes off of Sirovic's leg. A kickball violation, and then Sirovic just heaved it from three-quarter court after the whistle and banked it in. I've never seen that before in my life. That was one of the single most impressive things I've ever seen a human being do. Sirovic kicked the ball, very clearly a kickball violation that was called. It's West Virginia State ball. But he, in one fluid motion, grabbed the ball from about 60 feet, threw it to the opposite rim, and banked it in. It's not going to count, but it's still impressive. West Virginia State ball, some substitutions here for Wesleyan as the ball comes into Subject. Wesleyan in a 1-3-1. Here's a lob to the backside for Harris, who couldn't slam it on the alley-oop, but it's because he was fouled, and he'll go to the line for two. That would have been the highlight of the season. Shull threw the lob from about 30 feet, angled to the left, to Harris cutting down the right baseline, and he nearly punched it with both hands. The foul is called on Nathaniel Foster Jr., who's checked in for the first time. Free throw, good for Harris. So Foster into the game, along with Lamont Jones, who's checked back in. Team foul number 5 on Wesleyan. Second shot for Harris. That one's good as well. He's got 22 points for West Virginia State, along with 9 rebounds and 4 assists. Jones dashes across midcourt, hands off right side to Foster. Back to Jones, he brings it out high to reset. 12:15 to play, 18-point West Virginia State lead, 79-61. Sirovic with it in the center jump circle, pushed by Lamb, and West Virginia State calling for the foul. .12:08 to play. West Virginia State with an 18-point advantage. And Blake Goodman is going to check back in. Replaces Bryson Smith. First substitution here in the second half for West Virginia State, save for Lamb. Ball comes to Jones between the circles. To the left wing for Davis, looking into Sirovic. Can't get it to him. Now bounces it to him, popping out in the corner. Sirovic faces up, cross-court pass right corner. Here's Foster, an open three. Off the front of the rim, rebound Andrew Shull. West Virginia State headed the other way with an outlet pass to Trey Harris. One-handed up to Lamb, who strides to the basket. Finger rolls it in for two. West Virginia State making hay in transition. The lead is 20, 81-61, 11:40 to go here in the second half. Sirovic across midcourt. Lamb is defender right of the free throw circle. Brings it back between the rings. Trying to direct his team where he wants him to go. Goes between his legs. One hands a pass. Right wing now for Lamont Jones. Jones crossover. Pull up. 17-footer. Got it. Right in rhythm. Got Shull off balance with the crossover and sinks it. 11:20 to play. Here comes Subject in transition. Muscles his way past Sirovic, but lost the ball. Foster headed the other way. Up ahead, right side Jones. Pull up. 12-footer. Yes. Back-to-back buckets for Lamont Jones, brings the lead down to 16 with 11 minutes left in the game. Jaden Westfall at the scorer's table for Wesleyan. Shull over midcourt, calls for a screen out high from Harris, gets it attacking to his right, kicks out left wing. Here's Gale Lamb, open catch and shoot three, back rim no. Rebounded inside by Jones, who comes the other way. Harris is down underneath the basket. Jones takes a straightaway three and hits it. And Harris is in quite a bit of pain down underneath the basket. Didn't see what happened. Haley Bassett, West Virginia State athletic trainer, has come out to attend to him, but my goodness, West Virginia State has had so many injuries this year. So much has just not gone the right way for Brian Poor's team, and now your leading scorer is down underneath the basket. Hassan Belkadar has gone to check in for West Virginia State. That's a personal 7-0 run for Lamont Jones. Back-to-back mid-range jumpers, then he hits the three. Harris back to his feet. And a little tumbling action from the West Virginia State cheerleading squad. Going to bring the pep back into the crowd. Harris going to have to come out of the game for the moment, but moving around all right. We'll see what his status is going forward. So Belkadar in. He's out there with Shull, Subject, Goodman, and Lamb. Wesleyan goes with Jones, Sirovich, Westfall, Litton, and Foster. Here's some full court pressure. Sirovich picking up at the top of the zone. It's bounced left side for Belkadar, lobbed left wing for Subject. He's bumped by Foster, who's called for the foul. Tried to bring it back out high on the dribble and was nearly knocked into the West Virginia State bench. Shull to throw it in. Somebody's got to get open. Bounces it to Subject down in the corner. Jab steps back to Shull. Guarded by Sirovich. He jab steps, dribbles into a handoff with Subject. Got the switch on to Sirovich, brings it back out high, gets a screen from Belkadar. Working right, switched on to Litton now. Crossover, step back three from the right side, off the front of the rim. Lamb tips the rebound. Jones had it for a moment. It's out of bounds back to Wesleyan. So we'll see what West Virginia Wesleyan's got. Has scored the last 7 points, 10-15 to play. For that matter, Lamont Jones has scored the last 7 points. He brings it over midcourt, attacks, kicks out Sirovich right side. He traveled. Went up for the shot. All of a sudden had Gale Lamb right in his face. Tried to pass it, but landed first. Inbound Shull back to Belkadar and back to Shull against the press. Over midcourt, he gets it to Goodman. 10 minutes to play. They reverse it left side to Belkadar. Back to Shull, left of the circle. Goodman, right side Lamb. Jab step, drives with the left hand, hangs in the air, puts up the floater, left it short. Rebound Jones, nearly has it poked away. Now he does. Goodman missed it, but he tips it back in. West Virginia State with a nice turnover. Jones tried to dribble out of traffic, never really had the ball. He gets it across midcourt, now to Litton on the left wing, guarded by Goodman. Back between the circles, Jones lobbing inside. Litton on the backdoor cut, lays it in. Got in behind Goodman, just turned his back. And it's a 13-point game, 83-70. Up over midcourt, Shull, bounce right corner, Subject, double team, back to Shull. Just inside midcourt, working against Sirovich, lobs inside for Belkadar, who landed out of bounds. Led him too far with the pass. That takes us to a timeout. 9:19 to play. West Virginia State leads West Virginia Wesleyan 83-70. 9:19 to play in the game. This is West Virginia State men's basketball on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
.19 to play. West Virginia Wesleyan with the basketball. 83-70. West Virginia State leads the Bobcats. West Virginia State can clinch a spot in the Mountain East Conference tournament with a win today. West Virginia Wesleyan keeps its hopes alive with a victory. Lamont Jones with the basketball for Wesleyan. He scored the last 7 points for Wesleyan prior to Curtis Litton's layup the last time down the floor. They swing it to Milos Sirovich between the circles. Left side to Jaden Westfall to Litton straight away. Fakes the pass, gives it to Foster left wing. He'll take a three over Blake Goodman. Left it short, rebound fought for, loose on the floor still. Litton's got it, out to Jones at the top of the key. Jones attacking a right-hand drive, lost it. Taken away, Hassan Belkadar. 3-on-2 West Virginia State. Belkadar, left wing Gale Lamb, penetrates towards the baseline. Picks up the dribble, throws high post to Subject. Subject, a backdoor cut looking for Blake Goodman. The pass intercepted. Taken by Foster. Left side, Litton up over midcourt Jones. Jones drives into the paint, double clutches. Throws it out to Westfall. Extra pass Foster. Right wing, catch and shoot three, yes. And it's a 10-point game, 83-73. West Virginia State's led by as much as 20. But Wesleyan's chipping away. Trey Harris going to check back in for West Virginia State. Shull trapped Bounces it ahead for Belkadar. It's loose on the floor. Shull taps it to himself. Throws out right corner. Goodman open for three. Yes! Big shot from Blake Goodman. 86-73 coming up on 8 minutes to play. Some momentum back for West Virginia State. Sirovic up ahead onto the right side for Foster. Back between the circles. Jones drives, gets around. Lamb has the shot blocked out of bounds. Second time in his many home games that we have seen Gale Lamb just do an incredible job recovering and blocking a shot after he's been beaten. Happened 2 games ago against Salem, and there against Jones just got beat off the dribble and was able to close the gap and swat that from behind. It's Wesleyan ball. 7:56 to play, trailing 86-73. It goes to Litton, back out Foster. Stutter steps, back to Litton in the corner. Jab steps on Subject. Reverse top of the key, Sirovic. Working on Lamb, steps back. Here's a 17-footer. Front rim, no. Blake Goodman grabs it for West Virginia State, brings it ahead on the dribble, goes behind his back, slows down, brings it onto the right wing, gives it out high to Shull. 7:35 left in the game, a 13-point West Virginia State lead. Shull to Gale Lamb, high to the left side, looking high post to Subject. He faces the basket. 15 feet from the hoop, backing in on Foster. Stops in the lane, 15-footer, back rim, no. Brian Poore begging for a foul call. Not going to get it. And it's Wesleyan ball the other way. Sirovic across midcourt, gets around Harris, takes it into the lane, kicked out Foster, left wing three, left it short. Andrew Shull with it for West Virginia State. Up ahead, Goodman left side. Cross-court pass for Subject, picked off. Harkins ahead 2-on-2. Stops left wing, transition three. Back rim, no. Long rebound, chased down by Harkins. He grabs it right side, under for Sirovic, who lays it up and scores. Got Harris in the air with a shot fake and was able to score it. Derek Sloan thought he was fouled, and he's not going to get that call. 6:45, it goes into the front court for Goodman, top of the key, now left wing for Andrew Shull. Shull directing traffic, calls for Subject to come to the top of the key. Shull on the dribble, brings it back over to the right side. Now to Lamb, left wing, into the corner for Subject. Rips through the baseline, driving on Westfall, goes between his legs, takes a bump, into the lane, has the shot blocked. A whistle, a foul, called against West Virginia Wesleyan's Jaden Westfall. Blocked the shot, but kind of came across his arms. Third foul on Westfall, and it's going to put Jalen Subject back at the free throw line. 16 points for Subject today. To go with 6 points and 6 rebounds and 4 assists. Got myself a little out of sorts there. Jarrell Jean-Baptiste back in for West Virginia Wesleyan. He replaces Nathaniel Foster. Tried to get a little bit of a shooting spark off the bench with Foster, but couldn't get a shot to go. He heads back to the bench, 1 for 4 from 3. Second shot goes down for Subject. 18 points for him, 88-75. The West Virginia State lead, 6:25 to play. Harkins throws it up over midcourt, left side to Sirovic. Gets a screen from Litton, high post now for Westfall. Back right side, Jean-Baptiste. Off of a screen, throws it to Harkins, now down into the corner for Westfall. Backing in on Harris, had it poked away. Andrew Shull with it for West Virginia State. Up ahead, Lamb, into the corner, left side, Goodman. Back to Harris, one dribble, fires a left wing three, air ball. Rebound, backside, Subject, threw it off the bottom of the backboard. He's trying to say he was pushed out of bounds by Westfall, but they say there was contact, but it was clean. And Subject then threw it off the bottom of the backboard. So Wesleyan with it, 6 minutes to play. Harkins over midcourt, 88-75, the West Virginia State lead. Harkins dribbling down right wing, picks it up, gives it to Litton straight away. One hands a pass onto the wing for Jarrell Jean-Baptiste. Switched on to Subject, back to Westfall, top of the key, inside Litton, backing in on Goodman. Out to Harkins in the corner. Jab steps on Lamb, works down the baseline, turns, gives it back to Litton, back top of the key, Sirovic. 7 to shoot. Off a screen, ball poked away. Goodman knocked it away from him. It goes out of bounds with 4 on the shot clock, and Derek Sloan is going to take a timeout. Important possession here, coming up with 4 seconds on the shot clock. And it's going to be West Virginia Wesleyan basketball when we return from a media timeout. 5:35 to play. West Virginia State leads West Virginia Wesleyan 88-75. This is Yellowjacket basketball on 107.3 The Beat.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
For more than 125 years, West Virginia State University has been educating generations of students who have gone on to change the world.
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
.535 to play. West Virginia State leads West Virginia Wesleyan 88-75, trying to secure their spot in the Mountain East Conference tournament with a victory today. Yellowjackets can clinch the 10th and final spot in the bracket with a victory in this one. Milo Sirovitz to inbound, gets it to Drell Jean-Baptiste, 3 to shoot, shot fake, steps into Blake Goodman, throws it up, and a foul called from the other side of the floor. They're going to give Drell Jean-Baptiste 3 free throws. He leaned into Goodman, ended up on the floor, and the official on the near side didn't call it. It was called from all the way on the other sideline. 3 shots for Jean-Baptiste, who's an 89% free throw shooter. Brian Poore is hot. He got Goodman off his feet. You can't take that away from him. And then he leaned right into Goodman as he landed. Official on the near side was not blowing the whistle. It was called from the opposite side. Second free throw missed by Jean-Baptiste. He did get the first. And now he'll get a third after the substitution. Isaiah Baker back in for West Virginia Wesleyan along with Nick Davis. Third shot goes for Jean-Baptiste. It's 88-77. 5.5 minutes to play. Looking to break the pressure. It's Harris left side across to Goodman. His pass back for Harris, deflected and stolen. Baker comes up with it, pushes it over midcourt and throws it away. Taken by Harris. Here he comes into the front court. Up ahead, Goodman, right side corner. 3 ball on the way. Swish! Blake Goodman makes up for it on the other end, and the Yellowjackets go back ahead by 14, 91-77, coming up on 5 minutes to play. Harkins right of the circle, the left-hand dribble, throws it to Jones, left side, back top of the key to Jean-Baptiste. Will take a 3 from way outside. Front rim, no. Rebound inside Davis. Back to Harkins, stepping in, an open 3 from the left side. That one's short. High rebound. Jean-Baptiste pulls it in. Shot fake, bumped by Goodman, puts it back up and scores. 4:35 to play, 91-79. Left side, Harris still in the backcourt, double team, throws ahead to Goodman. Cross-court pass right side, Shull. Extra kick into the corner. Gale Lamb for 3. Missed it off the front of the rim. Rebound Litton. Out comes West Virginia Wesleyan. It's 3-on-2. Jean-Baptiste, Euro step right side. Dishes it for Baker. Goodman tipped it off Jean-Baptiste's face, out of bounds. I mean, it hit him straight in the nose. And you can tell because he's under the basket holding his nose to see if it's bleeding. It's not funny because the guy just got hit in the face, but it's just the incidental comedy of that. It's like a Three Stooges routine. Because it hit Baker, then it hit Goodman, then it could not have hit Jean-Baptiste more squarely in the nose. That takes us to our final media timeout. 4:14 to play. We'll step away for the final time. It's Yellow Jacket basketball on 107.3 The Beat.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
For more than 125 years, West Virginia State University has been educating generations of students who have gone on to change the world.
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
4:14 to play. West Virginia State leads West Virginia Wesleyan 91-79. Yellowjackets looking to close it out and clinch their spot in the Mountain East Conference Tournament. This is the third to last game of the regular season for West Virginia State. West Virginia Wesleyan picking up some full court pressure. Andrew Shull to throw it in as it deflected right back at him, and it hit him as it went back out. Nick Davis punched that right back at Shull, and it hit him in the arm. So Wesleyan gets the ball. Tristan Harkins to throw it in from the same exact spot. Isaiah Baker pops out left side and gets it, defended by Gale Lamb. Left-hand dribble, brings it between his legs, cross over to the right, back to the left, penetrates into the lane, shuffled his feet, and they'll get a foul called from the opposite side of the floor. The angle on that one was certainly from the high side, and that's going to put Isaiah Baker at the free throw line. The junior, 6'3", from Daytona Beach, Florida, is just a 68% shooter at the line. Lamont Jones has gone back to the scorer's table for Wesleyan. This shot from Baker is short. Harkins out of the game as Jones comes back in. Lead stays at 12 for West Virginia State with 4:05 to play. See if Baker can split the pair. Sends this on its way. That one's off back rim. Rebound, Jalen Subject, West Virginia State. Outlet left side to Trey Harris. Here comes the pressure. Double team. Cross-court pass finds Gale Lamb. He brings it down the right side. Up ahead, Blake Goodman. Right corner catch and shoot three. Left it short. Rebound underneath by Jones. 3:50 to play. He dashes up across midcourt. Bumps into Lamb. They'll call a blocking foul. And that's the last foul to give for West Virginia State. Third foul on Gale Lamb. And Nick Davis will inbound for Wesleyan from the top of the bench. Throws it to Jones between the circles. They set the play. Left of the circle, Jean-Baptiste. A shot fake, penetrates, spins, free throw line. Back out to Litton, right side, into the corner for Baker. A left-hand dribble looking into Litton, bounces it to him. Back to Baker, give and go, lays it in. Got around Goodman. 10-point game, 91-81. 3.5 minutes to play. Pass deflected. Finds Harris. His pass knocked in the air. Grabbed by Jean-Baptiste. Knocked away by Harris. It's loose on the floor. Davis has it. Lays it up. Whistle and a foul. And he'll get 2 free throws. Nick Davis, a 55% shooter at the line. Harris called for his third. West Virginia State not really dealing with this pressure particularly well on the last couple of possessions. Has given Wesleyan some hope. Yellowjackets have led by as much as 20. Davis can make it a single-digit advantage, and he doesn't on the first, though. A chance to make it a 9-point game still with this second shot. 55% shooter, the 6'5 junior. Puts it up to the rim. That rims out. Rebound, Goodman. West Virginia State ball with Gale Lamb. Left side to Shull. He's double teamed. Takes a bump from Jean-Baptiste, and he's going to get some free throws. West Virginia State and West Virginia Wesleyan both in the bonus. Shull in line for the 1-and-1. Made both of his free throws earlier. Those were for a technical foul called against the West Virginia Wesleyan bench. Shull an 80% free throw shooter on the line. And again, this is still the single bonus 1-and-1 with 3:16 to play. First shot, rims out. Rebound, Jean-Baptiste. A little pressure from Goodman. Now he retreats. Here comes Wesleyan across midcourt. Left wing Jones puts down a dribble. Drives on Shull. Stops in the lane. Off balance runner just off the rim. Rebound, Trey Harris, West Virginia State. Picked up the dribble. Throws it ahead to Lamb. Lamb on a left-hand dribble. Gets across midcourt. Bounces left side to Shull. Lost the ball out of bounds. Under pressure from Jones. He fumbled it into the bench. Fifth turnover in the last 3.5 minutes for West Virginia State. And they're 17th in the game. Under 3 minutes to play. Jones gets it across midcourt, crossover to the right hand, bounces it high post to Litton. He fakes a handoff to Jean-Baptiste. Now tries to drive, nearly lost it. Now he did. Grabbed by Harris. Thrown ahead, Blake Goodman on the run out. Slam dunk! And West Virginia State pushes the lead back to 12, 93-81. 2:35 to play. Litton, top of the key jab steps. Left of the circle, Jones working on Harris. Penetrates, bounces to the corner for Jean-Baptiste. Drives again on Harris, has it poked out from behind. Lost out of bounds. Whose ball is it? It's Wesleyan's. Great job by Harris to just get that ball up the floor to Goodman. Litton was trying to grab him to essentially do what would in the NBA be considered a clear path foul. Instead, it's Wesleyan ball here. Jones to the free throw line, 15-foot pull-up jumper. He sinks it. Big day for Lamont Jones. He's got 13 points. He averages 4. Inbound Lamb, back to Subject, 2:15 to play. Gets across midcourt, throws ahead, baseline Goodman to Harris, lays it up and scores. They break the pressure that time. Easy bucket for Harris. He's got a team-high 24 points with 10 rebounds and 7 assists. Baker nearly turned it over, got it back on the wing, finds Jean-Baptiste in the lane, 12-foot jumper long, tipped in by Davis. Timeout West Virginia Wesleyan. Called by Derek Sloan with 1:56 to play. Thirty-second timeout. West Virginia State leads 95-85. Blake Goodman, very quietly, is having his best game as a West Virginia State Yellow Jacket. 19 points. He's hit 4 3-pointers, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. And it's not really been a flashy game for him so far. He's just hit open shots and done what's been asked of him. Four 3-pointers, as I said, for him. And has moved the ball well. Again, returned on Wednesday against Davis and Elkins after missing the previous 5 games with an ankle injury. And he had 10 on Wednesday and has really showed up when he's been needed today for West Virginia State, and they're going to need him here again in the final minutes. 1:56 to play. 95-85 is the West Virginia State lead. And Andrew Shull will throw it in for the Yellow Jackets. Bounces it left corner to Subject, guarded by Baker. Fakes right, goes left. Brings it between his legs, takes a bump blocking foul called. Free throws for West Virginia State. That's going to put Subject to the line, still 1-1. That's the 3rd foul on Isaiah Baker. He's got 8 points and 5 assists for Wesleyan today. As Subject lines things up. 18 points for him with 8 rebounds and 4 assists. Could make it 4 straight 20-point performances if he goes 2 for 2 here, makes the first. The lefty really coming on strong here down the stretch. His second shot on the way. Right through the net. 1:50 to play, 97-85. West Virginia State ahead of West Virginia Wesleyan. Kicked ahead, Baker, right wing 3, front rim, tipped away from Subject. Jones had it for a moment, tracks it down in the corner, back to Litton. He'll hoist from the right wing, hit it. Curtis Litton hadn't scored since pretty early on in this game other than a layup a few minutes ago. And he hits it to make it a single-digit game, 97-88. Shull breaks the pressure. Lamb lobs for Harris. And the alley-oop goes down. Two-hand slam. Back to an 11-point game, 99-88. Jean-Baptiste the other way, lost his footing, tucks it like a running back as he falls to the floor. He's tied up by Lamb, and the arrow is with West Virginia Wesleyan. Gay Lamb with eyes up the floor, just threw it in the general direction of the rim, and knew Trey Harris was going to come down with it. Baker into the corner, Jones catch and shoot 3, rattles in, and another West Virginia Wesleyan timeout. 1:11 to play, 99-91. The West Virginia State lead. Yellow Jackets shooting 2 on every foul the rest of the way. So you take a look here for West Virginia State. You've got 4 in double figures. Harris with 26, Subject with 20, Goodman with 19, and Shull with 10. Litton's got 19 for Wesleyan, 17 for Jean-Baptiste, 16 for Jones, and now 10 for Sirovitz. As far as foul trouble goes for either team, when you're thinking about who Wesleyan's going to be fouling with down the stretch, you've got 4 guys with 3, Jean-Baptiste, Baker, Litton, and Westfall. For West Virginia State, should this game get extended at all, Lamb and Harris both have 3. Nobody else has more than 2. Foster picked up 2 quick ones for Wesleyan, but has not played since he came out after that 6-minute stretch here earlier in the half. So it's going to be diamond pressure from Wesleyan, 1-2-1-1. And Shull will inbound for West Virginia State, and he can run the baseline. 1:11 to play. 99-91 is the West Virginia State lead. And they're waiting for the final seconds of the timeout to tick off, and now we're ready. Shull to throw it in. Gets it left side to Subject. Here comes the double. Spins away, works it up the sideline, has it poked out from behind. Lamb tipped it. It's taken by Jean-Baptiste. Thrown ahead to Baker, driving in on Shull. Left hand lays it in. 1 minute to play, 99-93, and we'll get a whistle. And it looks like the clock needs to be reset. It kept running after the ball went in. And they will even it back to a minute. So 60 seconds to play, 99-93, the West Virginia State lead. Now it's 59.9. Got to be exact with it. Here's Shull to throw it in. We get a whistle before the pass. They call Baker holding on to Harris, and he's going to go to the line for two. Trey Harris continuing his strong form of late, 21 points back on Wednesday. That one was against Davis and Elkins in the loss. He's got 26 today. He's averaging 25 over the last 5 games for West Virginia State. His first free throw drops through the net. Puts the Yellowjackets at the century mark, 100-93. Second from Harris, nothing but net. 11 for 12 at the free throw line for Trey Harris. He's got 28 points. Jean-Baptiste in transition. Penetrates on Goodman into the basket, throws it up, and takes a foul. He's going to go to the line for 2. Foul on Goodman is his second. And Jean-Baptiste, the 89% free throw shooter, back to the line. Made 2 out of 3 in his only trip after being fouled on a 3 by Goodman. He makes the first. 53 seconds to play, 7-point game, 101-94. Second from Jean-Baptiste. Back rim, no. Rebounded by Goodman. West Virginia State with it. Wesleyan trying to tie him up. They're going to give him the held ball, but the Yellowjackets have the arrow. Jean-Baptiste stuck his nose in there. Goodman wouldn't let him have it. 50 seconds left, 101-94. Diamond pressure from Wesleyan. Shull to inbound. Looking for Subject. Bounces it to him out on the right. He's double teamed. Puts down a left-hand dribble. Steps through. Throws it up the floor to nobody. It's taken by Baker. Up ahead Jones. Left corner 3. Left it short. Rebounded by Harris. He saves it. Throws it into the backcourt. Litton's got it for Wesleyan. Left side to Baker. Drives into the lane. Off the glass scores. 101-96. 33 seconds left. Inbound Harris. They're trying to foul him, and they do. It's called on Davis. And Trey Harris back to the line to shoot 2. First foul on Nick Davis. And Trey Harris is going to try to extend that lead back to 7 for West Virginia State. Yellowjackets have had a bear of a time with this diamond pressure from Wesleyan. He's getting 2 shots, and he misses the first. 30.7 seconds on the clock. Here's the second for Harris. And that one rims out. Rebound Jean-Baptiste. Here we go. 30 seconds left. 5-point game. Jean-Baptiste between the circles. Litton, 24-footer, good. Shull inbounds to Goodman. Cross-court pass Subject. He gets away from one defender, runs into Baker, and he'll get 2 at the line. That's the 5th foul on Baker. He's done. Subject just got away from the defense as quickly as he could and then ran right into Baker's arms. Foster going to check in. He goes in for Baker. Subject at the line, up by 2, 20 seconds left. West Virginia State led by as much as 20 in this game. It's down to 2, and you got to make some foul shots. 80% shooter Subject, 20 points in the game. Shooting 2, first one short. 20 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists with his 5th consecutive 20-point performance. Second shot, rims out, rebounded by Jean-Baptiste. Shot clock's turned off. He brings it across midcourt, 14 seconds to play. Wesleyan's out of timeouts. Jean-Baptiste with a left-hand dribble, gets a screen from Litton, pitches it back to him, right wing, catch and shoot three, short, rebounded in the corner. It's pulled in by Subject, who's yanked to the ground, and he will shoot 2 free throws. Lamont Jones was right there to grab it. Subject out-jumped him, and then Jones pulled him down. 3.4 seconds on the clock, and Subject can effectively end this game if he makes both. But again, he was just there and missed the last 2. (101-99), 3.4 seconds on the clock. Litton got a decent look, had a hand in his face from Goodman, and just left it short. It's just the second 3 he's missed in this game. First shot from Subject. That one goes down. So 102-99. Wesleyan needs a 3 now to force overtime. And Subject can make it a 2-possession game with the second. Sends it on its way. He makes that one too. 103-99. 3.4 seconds. West Virginia State's going to pick up full court just to force them to bring it in. Goes into Jones. Couple dribbles to midcourt. Heaves it at the buzzer. He misses it, and West Virginia State locks its spot in at West Banco Arena for the Mountain East Conference Tournament in 2 weeks. A 103-99 win for the Yellowjackets over West Virginia Wesleyan, led by 28 points from Trey Harris, 22 from Jalen Subject, and 19 from Blake Goodman. 2 games left to play this season, but West Virginia State's going to get at least a third because they are guaranteed a spot at the Mountain East Conference Tournament. West Virginia Wesleyan has been eliminated from postseason contention. We're back to recap the action after this. It's West Virginia State basketball on 107.3 The Beat.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
For more than 125 years, West Virginia State University has been educating generations of students who have gone on to change the world.
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
with the University of Charleston paying a visit to the Walker Convocation Center. Hope you'll join us for both. But for Antoine Woods at the controls on Virginia Street in Charleston, I am Daniel Woods, repeating your final score. West Virginia State 103, West Virginia Wesleyan 99. This has been a presentation of West Virginia State University Athletics on 107.3 The Beat.